Hey, a lot of what I'm about to talk about is how to improve your artistic endeavors, specifically in relation to making art with Lego. But the same principles can be applied to other art forms, like drawing, painting, music, sport, acting, or anything really. Enjoy. Do you have fantastic, amazing plans for sensational artwork you want to create, but things just seem to get in the way of you doing them? You love making what you make, but you just don't. Isn't it ironic how the more excited you are about something, the more you want to fulfill your dreams or complete the big project? If something is important to you, the harder it can be to sit down and actually, well, do it. If you speak to any professional writer, almost all of them will tell you the hardest part about writing isn't the writing itself, it's the act of sitting down to write, looking at the blank page. The same can be said with any other art medium. Doing it isn't hard. That's why we do it. It's fun. Beginning it can be terrifying. This force, this wall, this thing that keeps us from sitting down and starting is something that Stephen Pressfield, author of the book The War of Art, calls resistance. Resistance is the force that stands between the life we live and the life we wished we lived. It's the thing that stands between us and our dreams, the person we want to become, the things we want to accomplish, and the things we want to create. Resistance gets in the way of all of these things. Resistance is an invisible and powerful thing. We can make up all kinds of excuses about how our parents or friends or life keep us from creating, but that's not true. Resistance is the force that drives us to procrastinate with those things. It comes from ourselves. Resistance is the self generated enemy from within. If you're an artist that doesn't make the art that you love, then you're in resistance. Resistance comes in the form of procrastination. It can be annoyingly easy to rationalize too. You know, when you tell yourself, yeah, I promise I'll start it, but I'll start it tomorrow. It's that sort of thing. Resistance takes the form of alcohol, overindulging in TV, sex, drama, gossip, junk food, just to name a few of the things that it manifests itself in. And hey, look, I'm not saying you can't have those things in your life. Sure, do it, of course, treat yourself. These things aren't inherently bad. But if you overindulge in them, and you kind of feel a little bit empty after, it's resistance. If you do these things instead of making art, sorry, it's resistance. You know what the worst thing is? Is that you have this gift. You are a creative being. You have so much potential, but you're doing everything but that. You're throwing it away. So don't let resistance win. You might be asking, well, how the heck am I supposed to slay the dragon that is resistance? Well, in the words of the immortal Michael Jackson, if you want to make the world a better place, then take a look at yourself and make a change. Dreams can die, great artworks can die because you give in to resistance. Resistance is a negative and evil force. Your mission is to combat your resistance. Look it in the face and say, screw you, I'm going to do it anyway. Find the best way that you have to beat your resistance. Now, this will be different for everyone, but here's some tips. A professional artist doesn't give in to blame and drama. If negative things come up in their life that are manifestations of resistance, they identify it as resistance and then just do the work anyway, because they're not going to let that kind of crap get in the way. Put simply, don't let anything be an excuse. Just do it. The amateur waits for inspiration, but the professional knows that it'll come after he starts. Showing up creates inspiration. Stephen King writes 6 pages a day, no matter what. And honestly, it's not up to him if they're good or bad. But he's just got into the habit of writing daily. He doesn't judge the result, he just uses anything that comes up. This is how you beat resistance. Don't judge your work or yourself. Just write, just make, just do. It's like running water from a dirty hose. At first, the dirty water will come out, and that'll be all you'll see. But soon, the beautiful, clean, and clear water will come. Sure, more dirty water will come, and you'll make terrible art, but that's okay. You will always have to work through the crud. It's your job, though, to keep fighting. Making a habit to show up regardless of the result is the best way to improve and the best way to fight your resistance. You get the crap out until, well, there's only good stuff left. And another important thing to remember is that this happens to everyone. You're not alone in this. Talk to others, support each other. And also know that the greats even struggle sometimes. People like George R. R. Martin, who still hasn't finished his next book, he's an example of that. But remember, it's your mission as a human to look resistance in the face and say, not today. One more thing. Remember that resistance does actually point us to our true calling. If fear comes up over a project or an artwork, it's a map to say, do this. This fear means it's something we love and we need to do, a calling. If you didn't love a project that terrifies you, well, then you wouldn't feel any positive emotions over it. The more resistance you feel towards a project, the better you'll feel when you accomplish it. And remember, look forward to the fun and the joy that you will, of course, feel while you're doing it. It won't all be doom and gloom. So, yeah. People always ask what's the best way to improve and become better at the art form that they do. How can I make all this cool stuff like all these super amazing, talented people do? And the answer to that is practice. Like I said, you'll build some bad stuff. Hey, I challenge you, build the worst thing you've ever built. Because from there, you can only go up. You'll learn what not to do. But then don't sabotage yourself by berating what you've created and then berating yourself. Doing that, you won't learn anything and you won't improve. Everything you build, ask yourself what you liked about it. And then ask yourself what you could maybe improve upon next time. But be kind to yourself. Remember, you just beat resistance by getting up and making something, even if it's terrible. And that's an achievement, so well done. But at the end of the day, motivation and inspiration mean nothing. Cultivate discipline. Sure, I hope this video does inspire and you go out there and you make the art you want to make. But if you want to consistently improve, cultivate a disciplined schedule or process where you consistently show up and don't judge the result. That's how you're definitely going to improve. And that's it, guys. So get building, put brick to brick, pen to paper, and make those dreams a reality.